So do I need this on a different screen here? I don't know how, or do I just?
You might have to press a button.
Oh, the one with the arrow.
There we go.
Got
And
it.
then that. Yeah.
Okay, great, thanks. All right, hi everyone. Thanks for sticking around for the last talk of the day. I'm just gonna go over some results from our first pre-service teacher workshop that we had just a few weeks ago at the Lunar and Planetary Institute. So one of the reasons we wanted to do this, so we're targeting pre-service teachers. So these are teachers that are in college studying to become teachers or in education departments. And we were targeting these teachers because there's definitely a need to better train STEM educators. So there's a lot of emphasis in classrooms across the country to try and teach earth and space science, but unfortunately the teachers aren't necessarily trained to be able to teach those subjects. So there's a study actually, 50 pre-service elementary education teachers were tested as to the cause of day and night, and 68% of them got it wrong. So, and I'll go over some other actual test scores too with teachers. So there's definitely, that's a really simple, we all think of that as an extremely simple concept, but not, the teachers don't necessarily understand that. So here's some more. This is from teachers, the grade level is basically 5 through 12. And this is from an article called the Astronomy and Space Science Concept Inventory. And basically what they did is they tested both students and teachers on a variety of topics. That's under the standard column. And you can see that the student scores aren't very good. They're ranging in the 30 to 40% range for answers that they got right for these particular concepts. But the teacher scores aren't all that great either. So again, just more evidence that the teachers really do need better training when it comes to STEM subjects. So there's actually a lot of NASA professional development opportunities for both in-service teachers, teachers that are currently in the classroom, and pre-service teachers. At APL, we've actually done a few pre-service teacher workshops ourselves. We partner with historically black colleges and universities to offer these teacher workshops to students in their education departments. And we also did an Unknown Moon Institute workshop through our previous NLSI. So just like a lot of you are building on the science of your previous NLSI experiences, we're also building on the knowledge for the EPO parts of our NLSI experiences. So again, we're partnering with historically black colleges and universities, and one of the reasons we're targeting them is because teachers often serve as role models for their students. So if we want to increase the number of underrepresented students in STEM careers, then a really good place to start is to get more qualified teachers out there to serve as their role models. And let's see. Oh, and also one thing that we found out with this particular workshop that we did, we were targeting pre-service teachers from a variety of institutes, minority-serving institutes, but we also found that it was a really good idea to involve in-service teachers with this workshop as well, because the combination, the in-service teachers kind of served as mentors for the pre-service teachers. So we ended up also targeting in-service teachers a little bit, but not to the same degree as the pre-service teachers. So here's just a brief sample of our agenda from this last year. There's a variety of topics that we went over: introduction to the solar system, moon basics, and the nature of science. That's very important because a lot of teachers don't really understand how we do science. We all understand how we do science, but teachers are not scientists, so they don't necessarily understand the scientific process. Also, characteristics of objects in the solar system. We talked a lot about solar system exploration. And then on the last day, we gave these pre-service teachers working with some of the in-service teachers that were there an opportunity to figure out how they would implement some of these activities that they were giving in the classroom. And this included an open house with students and families that came, and it gave them an opportunity to practice some of the activities that they had been doing. So it worked out really well. So the results, there were 16 teachers that participated. 11 of them were pre-service and the rest were in-service. And again, they acted as mentors to the pre-service teachers. They definitely enjoyed sharing and interacting with each other, the in-service and the pre-service teachers, at different levels and different experiences that they had to bring to each other. And any activity that we ever do, the engagement with the scientists, when the scientists come to talk to the teachers, whether it's a presentation or if it's sitting down at lunch with them, that is by far the most popular experience that we always get from the feedback that we get from teachers and students. So that's something that we hope we can, that involves definitely participation from all of you. So hopefully you will help out with those particular activities. So the family day, let me just back up really quick because I just wanted to point out on this bottom picture, they're doing an activity that's called A Strange New Planet. And I won't go into it too much, but basically they're acting like they're a spacecraft and they're observing a planet from far away. So they're looking through these little paper towel rolls and they're all looking at a planet. And I just want to show you that on this family day, again, on the bottom picture, you have a pre-service teacher who's able to practice this activity with a student. So that last day, family day, where we actually had members of the public, some students and their parents come in, it gave a chance for these pre-service teachers to practice these activities. It was a very valuable experience for them. If they had any problems, the facilitators of the workshop and scientists were there to help them out on the spot. So it was kind of a practice run for them. So it worked out really well. And 100% of the participants rated the workshop as either excellent and very good or very good. And this is the same as our NLSI workshops where they were always rated very high. So they're really great workshops. So some lessons learned. We did have virtual presentations. We started out in the beginning of the week with a virtual presentation. We learned that didn't work out very well, so definitely save the virtual presentations for later in the week after the teachers have had a chance to get to know each other and are a little more comfortable asking questions, because asking questions is a little bit harder when it's virtual than when it's in person. When we first started advertising this workshop, we did not include stipends, and we got like 5 applicants like the first 3 weeks that the announcement came out, and so we were a little worried about that, so we ended up re-announcing the program, including stipends, and within a couple of days we got like 20 applicants. So stipends definitely helped, and they were modest stipends, and they were only given to the pre-service teachers, and they were given based on, the size of the stipend was based on how far they were traveling. So people local in Texas got $100. People who were flying in from another state got $600. But it definitely helped with the participation, so that was very important. And again, allowing student teachers to practice the NASA resources that we were giving them just gives them more confidence. So that was definitely an activity that we will continue to include. Going forward, we definitely have some EPO resource limitation issues. So we had a really great meeting, the EPO teams are on Sunday, and we all agreed that definitely we need to work with each other more and leverage each other's resources. So going forward, this particular workshop, we'll probably do it in partnership with other survey teams to try and take advantage of all the experts out there and the other scientists and the other materials that exist. And we don't all have to do these workshops on our own. We can actually partner and save on resources. So that was the educator workshop, the pre-service educator workshop we did. But also, I just wanted to go over really quickly, we also do internships, and we have opportunities for postdocs at APL for our Vortices team. And we have this really great activity that we do called Space Academy. We do it at APL. And we did it for NLSI, and we're going to continue doing it for survey. Again, because of the limitation of resources, what we'll probably end up doing is leveraging our other missions that we do at APL, like Messenger and New Horizons and the MRO CRISM instrument. But that works out perfectly because then we can make it more broad solar system exploration type topics at these space academies. But basically, we get about 120 middle school students that come to APL for the day. They talk to the scientists. They do a mock NASA press conference. They get a tour of the lab, and it's just a lot of fun. So that's it. And does anybody have any questions? Thank you. Oh, awesome. Oh, okay.
So you've done this for a while now. Do you have outcomes in terms of how many of these students that go to the program actually might end up in a undergraduate degree that is aligned with this, or even graduate school?
Well, this is the first year that we're targeting pre-service teachers that are still in college, And so you're asking about their students, like if we've done it with teachers in the past, what their students. Oh, the Space Academy? No, we don't. We get evaluation data on their impression of the day, if it changed their attitudes for STEM careers, but we don't follow them. But that would be awesome to follow them, but we don't do that. So, yeah.
Scott Hughes, Idaho State. I can certainly understand the difficulties you have. There are a lot of issues, I know. But other than a stipend, I got two questions really. Other than a stipend, what other incentives do you have to get these people involved? And number two, is there a plan ultimately to have these same, the cohorts or whatever groups you have to go back to their own institutions and redo what they've done to teach others? In other words, spread the word.
Right. So I'll answer your first question first. So we do the stipends, and then there's also they get credit. Sometimes they're able to get professional development credit for teachers, so that counts towards something as well. And then a lot of times the teachers are just really interested in, I mean, they love NASA, or they want to hear more about the moon or solar system exploration. So some of them are there just out of their own will, wanting to learn more about these topics and having a passion to share them with their students. And then for what was your second question? Sorry, I forget.
It's the idea of where you train them to train others.
So so that's the train the trainer model, and that there are a lot of NASA professional development activities that do train the trainer. This one is not particularly set up for that, but we do have the idea. Like, for example, some of the in-service teachers that came back to mentor the pre-service teachers have been through other NASA workshops before. And so there is kind of that organic thing where some of the teachers are interested in helping other teachers learn how to do this. But the train-the-trainer model is difficult because I don't know that we know for sure when we send a teacher, when we have a teacher in a one-week workshop and we send them out to train other teachers, that they're necessarily giving the same value content do you know what I mean? It's like passing another level person who maybe doesn't have enough understanding. So
it might be done after they've done it multiple times, twice.
Maybe, yeah, bring them back a second time to make sure they definitely know what they're talking about. But there are some programs that do try to do that. Anyone else? Oh,
another comment.
Identify yourself.
Andy Shaner, LPI.
Hi.
Good job, thank you.
Thanks.
On the evaluations, was there anything about how the in-service teachers, kind of how they felt working with the pre-service and vice versa? Any kind of feedback on that?
We don't have this. So this happened June 23rd to 27th, so we haven't gone through real detail through the evaluation data yet. We haven't had a chance. But, top level, it seems that they all really enjoyed the interaction. The pre-service teachers definitely appreciated having experienced teachers who have kind of been through this in the classroom there with them. And again, I think most of these in-service teachers have been to NASA workshops before, so they've tried to use NASA resources in the classroom. So they had really good experience to share with the pre-service teachers, and I think everyone appreciated that experience. So, okay.
Any more comments or thoughts?
And
well, thank you.
All you scientists help your EPO teams. So okay.
we're all in EPO, right? Just a reminder that over in the main room right now, beginning in about 30 seconds, is